Hi everyone, my name is Kate and you're very welcome here on my channel where we talk about fragrances. This is an update video. About 2 years ago, I believe, I filmed a video about my favorite roses and you can still watch that. However, my taste and perception is changing. There are more fragrances in my collection, more kinds of roses in my collection. So I wanted to film an updated version of a rose video so we can catch up and see what's going on in the rose sector here. Before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy watching my videos and pour yourself some tea, coffee, maybe even wine. Come back to me and let's start discussing the beautiful rose. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know where to begin. Let's start with Serge Lutens, La Fille de Berlin. It's a very famous fragrance that doesn't need an introduction. A beautiful, beautiful rose with a metallic aspect, a little shadow of geranium. I do smell geranium here, but it's still a rose. It's a dark red rose by Maestro Serge Lutens. This metallic aspect disappears when it's warm and it becomes a little more honey-like, but when it's cold, I can smell it stronger, which I like about it. Then it becomes a fragrance that makes you straight up, get serious, maybe even work mood sometimes, or a heartbreaker mood too. It's a beautiful fragrance. I'm using it quite a lot. I like to say that rose is not my favorite note in fragrances, but still. And it's not everything actually. Here I show you what I actually wear a lot, or at least enough to mention among the fragrances that I really love. Okay, next is Experimentum Crucis by Etat Libre d'Orange. This is a very interesting modern looking and smelling rose created by Quentin Biche, by the way. It opens up with a rose powdered in cumin, or like it's a rose just in a bunch of cumin. I don't know. There are also some fruit shades here, like apple. Yeah, I do smell apple sometimes. It's kind of a red apple, not green and sour. It's more like a sweet red apple, like a gala wood, the one that Quinton likes using in his fragrances. Yeah, mostly to me it's a cumin and rose. Honestly, cumin is not my favorite note, although I think cumin creates this feeling of the roughness of the petals, like you touching the petals of a rose. To me, it smells like a red rose here. Sometimes I can tell the color, sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's just an abstract rose. Here it's more of a red one with a little bit of spices and a little of honey too. There's a touch of sweetness on that rose, like drops of honey on the petals. It's a very interesting one, and I recommend to try if you're looking for unusual roses. Maybe you're tired of more classic ones and you want to experiment. Now let's talk a little bit about a more classic, spicy Chypre rose with honey. It's a Soir de Lune by Sisley. Sisley is a very interesting brand. I feel like they don't really look at the trends as much. They just do their own thing mostly. And sometimes I really like the fragrances. Some of them are just incredible. And this one belongs to those incredible fragrances. I didn't appreciate it when I was younger. I thought it smells a little bit like a gramacent, you know? But the older I become, the more I like this fragrance. At first, it's a big whirl of old spices, mostly probably pepper and citruses. The classic Chypre with a lot of citruses in the beginning. Then it starts just gaining its strength, and we can see the beautiful rose coming on stage. But it's not only rose. There are other flowers too, like iris, lily of the valley, the classic ones. The pyramid, of course, is pretty big. And then in the base, I smell a little bit of that rose. It's still there. It's always there in the background, but a lot of honey and wood, oak moss, and patchouli. Very like patchouli. They're very, very rough here. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. This fragrance, yes, I didn't appreciate it at first when I tried it first couple times. I couldn't understand what the hype was about. Okay, not really hype. There's like not big hype around fragrances like this right now, unfortunately. but it's beautiful. I recommend to try if you like classic fragrances. I've been using it a lot recently, and the longevity is just out of space. It's just insane. Okay, another pretty feminine fragrance, Lipstick Rose by Frederic Malle. The memories, if I remember right, the memories of Frederic Malle about his mother. Oh yeah. So it's not only Rose. Actually, I would say that Rose is not the only main diva here. It's also Violet. I can smell lipstick, this kind of old school lipstick smell, which I love. I know not everybody loves it, but I like that smell a lot. It just brings back very nice memories for me. And a little bit of powder, like cosmetic powder. Overall, it smells like a beautiful woman who takes really great care of herself. I imagine this fragrance as a woman, maybe in her 50s, with a lot of experience. She's very smart, wise. She's an intelligent person. She knows what fits her. She knows how to look just 100%. And she goes somewhere in the evening. Maybe there's a night event, and she's coming out of her limousine. That's how I imagine this woman in this fragrance. Of course, everybody can wear this fragrance. I'm not trying to limit anything here. It's just the fantasy that I have when I spray it and when I smell it. I'm just imagining that woman, and it kind of, I don't know, I think it's pleasant. I like to fantasize about the fragrances. And let's cover another Frederic Malle, as long as we're here anyway. This is Noir piece. I usually collect my Frederic Malles in 50 ml, but this one I found for a great price in 100, so I decided, okay, I compromised. So this is also a very classic fragrance. This is old school fragrance. It doesn't really smell modern. Although now with the niche fragrances today, I feel like there's no actual line between vintage smelling or modern smelling. Everybody just does everything, so it's hard to tell sometimes. But here, it's quality. It's such a quality scent. It's a little bit hard to wear for me because it requires a certain kind of mood from me. So it's not something that I wear a lot, although I love this fragrance a lot. So, but how does it smell? It's a lot of spices from the very beginning. It's clove, it's cinnamon, it's nutmeg, it's pepper. There is a lot of pepper here. So it's very, very spicy and fresh. It's so, the spices, they create this feeling of when you smell fresh prosecco just out of the bottle, and this kind of this aldehydic smell, ozonic scent here because of the bubbles and the air. So this fragrance smell like that to me, especially in the beginning. There's also rose and geranium. I kind of try to make my peace with geranium. If you have seen my other videos, you might know that I'm not a big fan of geranium notes and it's hard for me to wear, but something is changing. Something is moving in that area. So yeah, there's also patchouli in the base, sandalwood. It's zero sweetness to me, solely flowers and spices, very peppery. I imagine the scent is a very beautiful fragrance for those who want quality things. And I can see how somebody can only wear this and have it as the signature. By the way, tell me if you want a signature scents video. I noticed that it's becoming popular and a lot of bloggers make that video. So I wonder if you would like to hear from me what I think about signature scents. Just let me know and I'll be happy to create that for you. Okay, let's come back to a little bit lighter roses right now. Another Quintan Biche, by the way. I think it was made by Biche as well. This is Blouse by YSL, Yves Saint Laurent. Ah, yeah. It's a very light spring fragrance. I used a lot this spring, and this is like a 100 ml bottle, 125 ml, guys. And look at the usage. So yes, Rose and Angelique. These are the main notes, and also musk. It's pretty musky. I actually, now when I'm smelling it, I see something. Maybe it's just this handwriting of Quintan Biche, but you can tell that they are sisters. This is just more of a powerhouse house to me. There's a little more going on here. More notes, more shades. It's changing more. This is a more stable, reliable fragrance that will probably not surprise you. I mean, the color, the mood of this fragrance is different, but there is something about them that is a little bit similar. It's a pink spring rose. I love wearing it when it's getting warmer and you're excited about spring and summer. This is maybe my favorite fragrance for that time of the year. Another lighter and more spring smelling rose that I love. I know I showed this bottle a lot on my channel, but I love this fragrance and it's such a bummer to me. It's been discontinued. I only have half a bottle left and it's very sad to me. I guess I will have to look for, if you have it and you don't care for it, you don't use it, especially if you have a bigger bottle, let me know. Let's work something out. Because also it's hard to find and sometimes people just set such high prices on this one that I'm not even sure it's worth it. But for a fair price, I would be happy to get it. Okay, so this is a rose with mint. That's why it's fresh. It's like a rose in a spring morning garden, under the sunlight. Maybe it's 8 a.m., 7 a.m. The nature's just waking up, and you go inside of that beautiful rose garden with pink roses, white roses, especially white. I can smell white roses here. Yeah, there's also a note of cannabis, but it doesn't smell like cannabis at all. It just creates this bush around the rose, this feeling of something green around it. It's, I cannot say it's extremely realistic, but this fragrance clearly draws a picture in front of you, and I love that about this perfume. Florabotanica is just incredible, and I always loved this bottle. I think it's very interesting. Okay, let's finish with this row. This is Elie Saab, Essence #1 Rose. I think Korjan made this whole line. He was working on it as a main perfumer of the brand at the time. I don't know about now. Oh no, my bottle is vaping. Oh, it started vaping. I didn't notice before. Okay, so um, this is a beautiful jammy rose with her hot lacum, Turkish delights, and sugar powder. A little bit. It's not too much. It's not sugary, but it's definitely on the sweeter side. Yeah, I also smell it's changing. It's the pyramid doesn't sound exciting. There's like rose, rose, and rose, something like this, just different kinds of roses. But in reality, it's a much more complicated scent, and this dessert sweetness about it is beautiful. I almost smell wood in the base too, and wine aspect. There's something like wine about it, just a little, just a touch. And it's so interesting to wear because it shows you different side of it every time and different weather. And I love it. It's a beautiful masterpiece rose by Korjan. And as we know, Korjan knows how to make roses. And honestly, I think this fragrance was created before Oud Satin Mood. I think so. I can see how he took this rose and put it there. Just added vanilla, oud, maybe some other touches. But I feel like this was the mother of those super famous, expensive ouds that he created later. And we have a couple left. Let's talk about Francesca dell'Oro. It's Ambrosine. I just bought it in Italy during the recent trip. And this is an extremely interesting fragrance for me because every time I find something else, every time there's something about it that I haven't noticed the previous time I wore it. It's like a puzzle that you cannot finish. And I like it about this fragrance. First time when I smelled it, I just imagined myself in a cozy, warm grandma's hug. It smells like rose and amber and cinnamon, maybe some other flowers too, somewhere in the back. But this warmth, it's really hard to tell you the notes because it's such a one thing, it's such a block, and it smells by itself. It doesn't smell like rose or this or that. It smells like this fragrance. So sometimes it's really hard to pick up some parts of it, and make a constructor out of it. Yeah, really warm, this beautiful amber, and there is also aspect of a powder here too, maybe some cream, like you use the very nice white plastic hand cream. I like it a lot. Super long. This is a beast actually. Sometimes I get tired of it. It's a beast. So I don't wear it too much because I don't want to get tired of this fragrance, as it just lasts for 18 hours plus on me. And I wake up and I still smell it on my hair in the morning, you know. Um, really, really great fragrance. A little bit of old school touch there, you know, but not too much. I would say Frederic Malle's level when it's sophisticated. It adds this beauty and chic element to this fragrance. Okay, and we have two left. Let's talk about Dusita, La Douceur de Siam. Uh, I call this the fragrance for girly brunch, with roses and prosecco and strawberry, some sweets on the table. I don't clearly smell chocolate or pastries or something, but something abstract. I can tell that there is something sweet on that table for for somebody who has a sweet tooth. And of course, there's roses. It's white roses. It's such a happy brunch atmosphere. I like this fragrance. And it's still very feminine. It is a very feminine fragrance. I cannot say that it's a fragrance for a very young girl, you know, maybe 13, 14, 15. No, I would say that it's a young woman scent. Anybody, again, I'm not limiting, anybody can wear it, of course. It's just what I associate with the particular scent. Dusita may be hard to find in the US, but it's worth trying to find a set of samples or just one sample, for example, of this one and try it because they're really interesting and it's worth it. And the last one for today, I already talked about it on my channel, but maybe you forgot because I didn't mention it for a while. This is Byredo, Lil Fleur. This is a rose. I would say even geranium rose with leather and sour red berries. Yeah, it's also a beast. It's a very potent, strong fragrance. I do smell the leather here, especially the colder it gets, the more leather I smell. I would say that when it's the warmer weather, I smell more berries and there's a little bit of sweetness appearing from somewhere. But in the colder weather, no, it's very straight. It's the same as with Le Fille de Berlin, the first and the last one. The colder weather makes it more, you know, no smiles. And the warmer weather makes it smile a little bit. Yeah. Also great. I don't wear this a lot, but sometimes when I'm in the mood for leather and rose combo, I go here. And it's actually used pretty much. Like, I wouldn't say that it's not used, it's used pretty much. Okay, I think we're done. And I want to know what roses you wear and what are your favorites. What do you think I would like on the base of my collection? Maybe there are some recommendations. I'm always open and hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon. Bye bye.